WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone. We're going to be here for, about the next hour talking pro wrestling and pretty much what we're here to do. We're not here under the right circumstances tonight, but I felt the need to do this show, and it's been a pretty crazy week with you hear his theme song right now in the background, Roddy Piper, and an article that we put up on the website on Tuesday, and wanted to address some things here and basically just clarify where we got the story and how everything went down, why it got so out of hand, and what happened at the end. So, with that being said, Matty Boone, what's going on, my man?
Hey now. Fucking, what we got, the hot Scott, the hot rod. I love how everybody always says Roddy Piper. It's Rowdy Roddy Piper, but everybody says Roddy Piper. I don't know why that is. Maybe because it's so close to, I don't know. But, I don't know, everybody knows, at least from my perspective, we've said it a million times in the show when we talk about our favorite wrestlers of all time.
Right.
Mine's Piper. Not just because of what's going on. I mean, it's on the archives. You can go listen. I'm a big Hot Rod fan, and what happened, man? You gotta break this down and tell everybody what's going on. We have a Twitter war. Well, I guess it's over now, but we had a Twitter war.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason we're here tonight. I mean, basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what happened between Roddy Piper and myself. I just want to, I mean, basically, we were thinking about doing this yesterday, and things were kind of, I mean, it was still kind of heated yesterday, and I wanted to wait for things to kind of calm down and then come on here and address, clarify some things that, I mean, the thing, it just blew up, and it got out of hand, and the more, I mean, basically what it comes down to is I made a mistake on Tuesday when we put an article up on the website, and Roddy Piper had caught wind of that story, and then a lot of fans had been tweeting him things, and they were way off in what they were saying, and Roddy kind of took what they were saying and kind of ran with it, and that's what you guys saw on Twitter, the whole Twitter thing that erupted. I mean,
yeah.
And so we'll break it down. I mean, we'll start from the top, break it down, and then, from start to finish, tell everybody what happened. And then we'll kind of open it up. I mean, Velvet Sky was released from TNA this past week, so we got to talk about that. That's a pretty big deal, man. And she's not the only one. There's a lot of people in TNA that want out of that company. It's the same thing in WWE too, you know what I mean, where guys get frustrated that they're not being used and they want out of the company, But TNA, especially with TNA, I don't know if you've heard, man, but Bruce Pritchard, who is in charge of talent relations, I mean, they are basically take it or leave it, you know what I mean, as far as contracts are concerned. And I think the end result is going to be a bunch of people leaving that company,
Well, see, speaking of Bruce Pritchard, we can do a nice little segue back to Piper here. I remember, not to say that this is the prove I'm a Piper fan show, but I can talk about Conqueror of the Guerreros. I can talk about the war to settle the score, Cindy Lauper. I can talk about the retirement match with Adrian Adonis. But you remember Bruce Pritchard's character in WWE was
the Brother Love.
Brother Love, I love you. But him and Piper, when Piper was on one of his hiatuses, I believe it was the film that They Live movie. I'm not sure about that, but I know he was on a hiatus, and when he came back, the big angle was Piper and Brother Love, and Brother Love wore the kilt just like Piper did, and they had the Brother Love talk segment, kind of like Piper's Pit, and they went back and forth, and it resulted in that famous WrestleMania moment with Morton Downey, where Piper had the fire extinguisher hidden under a little chair, and Downey kept blowing the smoke in his face. Piper blasted him with the fire extinguisher. So
right.
We're big Piper fans, but like you said, the thing got out of control because Roddy Piper's not sitting on the internet reading all these posts every day. I mean, he gets wind of it based on what people tell him.
Right.
And the story that people were telling him was a lot of the feedback, which was that's where the sexual harassment stuff came in, and the handicaps. Like, you never said a word about any of that. I don't even know where that came from. So, it's like he got fed a story and ran with it, and that wasn't really the story. So you're apologizing for screwing up, but you didn't even screw up in the way that you were being accused of screwing up. You just screwed up on the rumor. I'll let you tell the story, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, let's run it down from top to bottom. Basically what happened, guys, is we were the ones that broke the story on WZROnline.com. I had a guy contact me, but you guys all know that the 1000th edition of Monday Night Raw was obviously on Monday, right? It was a big 3-hour show. And on Tuesday morning, I had an email in my inbox from a guy who was an independent contractor. Basically, for those that don't know, when WWE does TV tapings and even live events, even house shows and things like that, they bring in independent contractors, where WWE has their own set of truck drivers that are employed by the company, the guys that drive the 18-wheeler trucks from arena to arena. And when they get to the arena, there is, especially at TV tapings, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you've got to unload those trucks, you've got to wheel everything out to the ring.
Production.
Right, I mean, you've got to wheel everything out to the ring and get the ring set up, the Titantron, all that stuff, man. So what they do is they hire independent contractors who arrive in the morning, and they help these guys as soon as the 18-wheeler trucks, especially for TV tapings, they arrive on Sunday night, the night before, and then very early Monday morning or very early Tuesday morning, they unload these trucks. And WWE contacts independent contractors who are companies that work in cities, and they're basically there to help production companies do their setup. And I was contacted on Tuesday morning from a guy who claimed that he was from, well, a part of the St. Louis Building and Construction Trades Council in St. Louis, Missouri. And he gave me some information.
Which is where the Raw 1000th episode was held in St. Louis.
Right, in St. Louis, Missouri. And he gave me some information about legends that had been backstage, and also sent me a photo on a cell phone that had basically what WWE does is during the afternoon hours, on they call it a whiteboard or a wall board, up on the wall is the creative script. And then in addition to that, everybody gets, like a manila type folder, you know what I mean, where they've got the creative script and everything else. And there was a photo that he had sent me that was clearly from the 1000th edition of Monday Night Raw. So with that being said, there was a lot of info in this email that was 100% confirmed. And one of the news bits that he had
turned out to be true.
And
After watching the show, most of the stuff was, the guys he said was there. Stuff that he said was going to happen happened. It wasn't like it was just some flunky,
No, absolutely not. A lot of this stuff, all of it, except for apparently one bit. And that one bit was, he had said that Roddy Piper was backstage talking with a group of 3 or 4 divas. And Caitlyn had walked away in an angrily type manner. She walked away from Piper.
She stormed off.
She stormed off, and that led the guy in production from the independent contracting company to say something must have went down. Piper must have said something to her that pissed her off. And then with that, on Tuesday morning, we put up a story, and the story went like this. It said, according to a WZROnline.com source, there was some sort of backstage incident at Monday's Raw that involved Roddy Piper and WWE diva Caitlyn. According to a source at the event, the wrestling legend made some suggestive remarks toward Caitlyn that made her feel uncomfortable. As of this writing, we have no further details, so please take this only as a rumor, and rumor was in bold. We hope to have more soon. All right, we ran with that. That's what we did.
And then she said this and that, and this was all you got. That everything's okay voice going on. It's true.
So that was the report that we had originally broke on WZROnline.com. A lot of other sites picked this up and ran with it. And it got out there, and then, what happened is Piper was notified through Twitter about the article on WZROnline.com. All right, and .com. He was linked to the article and read the article. The first tweet from Roddy Piper was a retweet of the link to WZROnline.com with no mention that it was false, no mention, it was just a retweet of the link that we put up on WZROnline.com. So with him linking the report, I'm thinking, well, he didn't deny it, right? He hadn't, he just linked the report, which would lead many to believe that, you know what? Maybe something did go down, and maybe Piper's not embarrassed to say it. You know what I mean? It was just a link to the WZROnline.com article. Next thing I know...
That's one of many conclusions you could draw, yeah. I mean, who knows why? That's one reason he may have retweeted it. Who knows why, but... you could assume that.
We have no idea. We were just assuming that, okay, he retweeted a link to WZROnline.com with nothing that said this is false, this is absolutely untrue, just a link to WZROnline.com. And, later in the afternoon, I mean, this sat, top post on Piper's Twitter for hours. And then in the afternoon, he had, let me get his tweets up. I should have got this ready before I came on here tonight, but he...
you should plug his Twitter account while you're in the process.
It is R_. I'm gonna have to go and get it.
Underscore.
Underscore R_ Roddy. Hold on one second. I didn't have it ready. It's
none of this ready.
R_ Roddy _ Piper is his Twitter account, and basically Tuesday night Piper had he said number one, he issued 5 tweets, and he said, number 1, everybody out of the fucking pool now. Just walked in the ranch, been gone 4 weeks. I come to hug my kids. First thing I hear is at Caitlyn WWE. Number 2, I'll let most lies about me go unchallenged. Not this time. I have a great relationship with all the divas and wrestlers at WWE. Number 3, as far as at Caitlyn WWE, I think she's wonderful. I'm not letting this go. I'm a gentleman with all. I don't know what I'm accused of. Number 4, but bring it on in front of the world, Rod Pod's Raw 1000th report. And second, have the balls to say it to my face, I'm looking for you now. And then number 5, I hate bullies and men that are not pros and don't treat all others with respect. At Caitlyn, WWE is a wonderful lady. You picked the wrong guy. So with that being said, Roddy Piper came out and basically denied that this didn't happen. Later that night, on Tuesday, I believe it was, Caitlyn responded, and I don't have her tweet in front of me, but she said something like, trying to ignore all these tweets, Roddy is nothing but a gentleman or nothing but a nice guy. So, we put up Roddy Piper's response.
Well, clearly you can tell where Piper heard the story. If he just, I guess his kids read your website and told him, so...
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Or he was tweeted. He may have been tweeted by a fan who read the article, and they went.
Well, he said he came home and gave his kids a hug, and the first thing he heard was about this. So I would assume one of his kids saw it and said, "Daddy,
you're right.
They're saying some fucked up shit about you on the internet. What's going on?"
Right.
He was probably, as he should have been, offended. Like, well, what the hell are they saying?
Right. You're right. So basically, what we did is on Tuesday night we had posted. I mean, listen, we've always been fair, okay? If I make a mistake, you guys that have known me long enough, I've been around here for 13, 14, almost 15 years now. A lot of you guys have been... A lot of you guys have been following me for years and years and years, and you know that if I make a mistake, there is always a retraction, man. I'm a man. I can admit my mistakes, and it's the right thing to do, man. If you make a mistake in an article, you go back, you retract it, you make a correction, and you move on. It happens.
Apologize.
You apologize, man. It happens. It's part of life. Mistakes happen. So what I did is I took Roddy's tweets and basically said that, he's denying the report, said that he was clearly responding to the original article that we had put up on WZROnline.com, and we put his side of the story up. And then Caitlyn issued that tweet, and I put Caitlyn's tweet up on the website, you know what I mean, to get her side of the story out. Turns out that, obviously...
you wanted to show that the same amount of attention to each side of the story. The side you got, Roddy's side, Caitlyn's side. Everybody involved got the same amount of attention, so that nobody was favored, or, you know what I mean? Nobody got any biases. It was just equal opportunity exposure. You said
Absolutely.
This, he said that, she said this. You guys take it and develop your own conclusion.
And when have we ever not done that? I mean, it doesn't matter. A lot of people say, you're always bashing Hulk Hogan and you're always bashing Matt Hardy. I mean, listen, back in the day, you guys know, Matt Hardy was a mess. You could clearly see it by the videos he was making online. But every single article that I did on Matt Hardy, at the bottom of that article, I always ended with, "I hope you get well soon, Matt," or I hope things work out. I hope you get the help you need. It was always something like that. It was never, "I hope you die." You know what I mean?
Exactly. And there were times on the air where you would be like, "God, I hope this guy gets him to read." I really like Matt Hardy. I'm a big fan of his. I wish he would go. He seems like he needs help. You seem to really care. It's not your job to care about these guys. It's your job to report about these guys. But you're a human being, and you care. You're like, God damn, it sucks that he's in, he's in this. You know what I mean?
There was always, at the bottom of the post, there was always, "I hope this guy cleans up. I hope he gets help. Hopefully somebody that was close." I remember saying something about hopefully somebody that knows him, or somebody that's close to him, can talk to him, can get him in some sort of rehab facility. And in the end, it worked out, man. It worked out for Matt. You know what I mean? And he's doing better now. And you got to give the guy all the props in the world for taking the steps to make things right. And
the hard thing to do.
Right,
yeah.
Of course it is. You know what I mean? So then, I wake up on a Wednesday morning, and Piper's Twitter has just blown up. I've got hundreds and hundreds of tweets on my Twitter feed. Death threats and you name it. These people just went ape shit on my Twitter account. And I'm thinking, what is going on, man? And I go to Roddy Piper's Twitter page, and there's all this stuff about, I've made fun of people in wheelchairs and sexual harassment, and sexual harassment. Where are we getting sexual harassment and making fun of people in wheelchairs? You know what I mean? None of this stuff was in the original article. So apparently what happened is...
The only thing in the article where you could even be accused of anything is you said suggestive remarks. Now, somebody could have taken that and on it. Maybe some of the sites that picked it up added their own spin to it and said that he was sexually harassing. But all you said was suggestive remarks. That doesn't suggest sexual harassment. Doesn't suggest sexual anything.
Absolutely.
And where does wheelchair come from?
I have no idea, dude. Well, where it comes from is you've got fans that, a lot of people don't like me. You know what I mean? It happens. A lot of people probably don't like you in life. You know what I mean? It happens. And
whoa. People don't like me?
We had a...
fuck off. Listen, I don't like them either.
Yeah, what happened on Tuesday night while we're talking, right? What happened to you, Boone?
You were the only person that didn't like me Tuesday night, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Everybody listened to that show on Tuesday night. Me and Boone had a little fight live on air, and I hung up on you, bro. We talked about it earlier. I said, this motherfucker, fuck him for right now. And I hung up the phone on you, dude. And then you called back, and I was ready to say, all right, dude, we're ready to chill out, bro. We're ready to fucking finish this show up. And you said something like, I go out on my own terms, bitch, peace, or something. And I said, this motherfucker, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, I was talking about my family. You mocked me and hung up on me. I'm not gonna. Obviously, I'm gonna get mad about that.
Well, it was Brian Clark in the chat room called up, and he was trying to hype up the callers, and he was the nicest guy, man. That he's a diehard loyal fan, nicest dude, right? And you just shit all over him, and I said, what the fuck?
I didn't though.
You did.
I really didn't. All I did was he said, callers one, you need to be enthusiastic. And I said, listen, you can't tell the callers how to be. Some people aren't enthusiastic. You can't fake enthusiasm, otherwise you're a phony. I said, the callers are themselves, let them be themselves. Some of them are going to be boring, some of them are going to be good. That was the only point I was trying to make.
Well, anyway, but we're here now, anyway, right? So, listen, let's get back to Piper for a second. So all these tweets started coming in, and Piper just, all day on Wednesday, Piper went crazy, all right, with the tweets. I tried to contact Piper numerous. I went to rowdyroddypiper.com. There was a contact page with an @AOL.com email address. I sent numerous emails to that account. I tried to contact Roddy via Twitter. By a DM, which is a direct message, and unfortunately, he wasn't following me. And if you're not following people, you can't send DM messages. And I tried all night Thursday. I sent numerous tweets over to Piper saying, please contact me, webmaster@prowrestlingscoops.com. If anybody, I even made a plea to anybody on Twitter that if anybody knew how to get a hold of Roddy, whether it be via phone or whether it be, via email, please send me an email, send me something where I can contact this guy. And nobody gave me any of that information. So yesterday came around, and finally, I worked all day yesterday. I wanted to try to contact, before I issued a clarification and a retraction to the story, I wanted to try to contact Roddy first to sort things out. And for people, saying
that's the right thing to do, too. You handled everything, as far as what I know, what happened, you handled everything like a professional.
Well,
you tried to get hold of him first, and then when you couldn't, you went public and, did your thing.
And for the people that say, well, you waited so long to issue a retraction, the reason for that, like I said, man, I was trying to get a hold of Roddy. I tried every possible way, and it just wasn't happening, man. He wasn't sending me an email. I don't know if he didn't see my email. I don't know what the deal was, but there was no way to get in contact with him. So eventually, I tried to ignore it, knowing that I was going to write some sort of retraction and a clarification on the websites, but I wanted to contact Roddy first to sort things out. And finally yesterday, once again, I could not get a hold of him. Tried numerous times once again, and worked on a retraction statement all day yesterday. I even contacted Boone and said, Boone, I've got to issue some sort of retraction. What do you think? I had written something up, and I said, what do you think about this? And you read it and said that, everything was good to go, and you should put that up on the website. And, last evening I put that up. I then linked, I think myself and a bunch of other people linked Roddy to the actual report, and he finally replied last night that he had read the retraction and, had accepted it. And, we were good to go, and, it kind of ended there. And then we were joking around last night that, we should go out and have drinks together next time he's in Albany, New York. Of course, drinks on me. You know what I mean? Just kind of like I do with the bands, right? But Roddy Piper, that'd be awesome, dude. To sit down and have a drink with Roddy Piper? Come on now. You know what I mean?
Who wouldn't want to do that? Yeah, that'd be great. Fucking, could you imagine the stories that guy's got? Fucking forget. I just watched him recently on, I think it's called Legends of Wrestling, the WWE Roundtable they do on demand. He was on 2 of the episodes. One was about Rebels, one was about celebrities, and he told a story about he and his old tag partner, Ace Cowboy Bob Orton, and how Bob Orton was shot with stun guns in his hotel and wouldn't go down. I don't know, you have to see it, but it was he's a great storyteller, and I can't imagine the stories that guy's got with all the years he's been, especially through the boom period in the 80s and traveling he's got to have stories, and he was in the Nitro during their crazy days. That man's got stories,
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And not only that, but I think he has a podcast. I don't know when it airs. I think it may be, I know his next podcast is August 2nd, he was telling me. And I am still going, back between myself and Roddy Piper, and I have no problem going on his podcast. I told you this yesterday, and now that we've got everything resolved, I have no problem going on his podcast, and I would hope that he would agree to come on WZR Radio as well, and, we can laugh about it now. You know what I mean? But he's been
a guest of ours. What? I think I think it's either Chuck Liddell or Piper we've had on the motor. I think Chuck Liddell was 5 times, Piper was 6. We've had Piper on 6 times, and I've always said he was my favorite guest just because I'm such a fan.
Every time, man.
Came out, yeah, go ahead.
No, every single time he's been on here, whether it were to be to plug a book or plug an appearance or something like that, he's always come on. And you were just talking about stories. He's been one of our best guests ever. You know what I mean? And we've had
home run every single time. Home run out of the park.
Bobby Heenan was on here, Sable was on here, Randy Savage was on here. Tons and tons of guests, and I don't think anybody has been as good as Roddy Piper on here. And like you said, 5 or 6 times, different shows he's been on.
And every time it wasn't. A lot of people have those interviews. You listen to him on one show and you listen to him on another show, and you hear basically the same shit.
Right.
He came on 6 times, and every time it was a fresh, entertaining interview. The same way his promos are. It's never the same thing. It's always something unique and different and just awesome.
It was. So, listen, to sum this up, and I got some notes that, I put into a file here, but to sum this up, I'm a man. I can admit my mistakes, and on Tuesday I put up an article. It turned out to be false. It turned out to be false. Roddy, reacted in the manner that he did, and he had a right to do that. listen, it affected his family. He said that his kids had read the story, and it affected him. And the guy got pissed off, and you guys saw that on Twitter. I understand completely why he got pissed off, and I can admit my mistake. I made a mistake on Tuesday morning. It happens. The correct thing to do is go out, and when you make a mistake, you man up, you admit your mistake, you issue a correction, a retraction on the websites, and that's what was done. And when it's all said and done, me and Piper, we've been going back and forth on Twitter, last night and today. And, like I said, I'm hoping to get him on WZR Radio, and I would I'd return the favor and go on his podcast as well, and we could talk about it further. And just to let you guys know that, everything has been addressed, everything's been cleared up, and lesson learned, you know what I mean? Lesson learned the hard way, as far as I'm concerned, that, a lot of times, and here's the thing, like I said earlier, guys, everything that this independent contractor had sent us turned out to be 100% correct. There was one news bit that didn't turn out to be what we thought it was going to turn out to be, but everything else did, and I ran with it. I went with the story, and I messed up. You know what I mean? And like I said, the correct thing to do is issue a correction. So that's what was done. And as far as, listen, for those that listen to WZR Radio, the guy's got 200,000 fans. I've got 2,000 on Twitter. You know what I mean? And there were people from the WZR Army that, it's going to suck up, but you guys stuck up. You know what I mean? Stuck up for me. All these fans, thousands of messages coming in from Piper's fans that, death threats and everything else, and you guys had a reason to be pissed off too. You know what I mean? Because, Roddy Piper is the hero to some of these people. And when they see a story that doesn't turn out to be correct or that Piper denies, they're going to get pissed off and they're going to send threats and everything else. Death threats are going a little bit far, you know what I mean? It's pro wrestling, guys, but we made a mistake, and that's what happened. And as far as people claiming that I made up a false story for hits to the website, to WZROnline.com, absolutely not. Give me a break. I've never, and I would never, make up a false story. A false story that potentially could damage someone's credibility, could ruin a person's life. I'd never do something like that to get hits from my website. Give me a break. You guys...
Yeah, there's plenty of other ways to get hit other than ruining people's personal lives. You're not the fucking scum of the earth because you can get hits without doing that. So
you guys know damn well, those that know me, those that have followed me over the years, I've never, ever made up a false story about someone. Have we been wrong before? Yeah, we have. You know what I mean? Have we issued corrections before? Yeah, we have. But never would I make up a false story. And the sexual harassment claims, I'd never go out and report that somebody, I would never report sexual harassment claims if I didn't have it absolutely 200% confirmed that a sexual harassment occurred. That's ridiculous to think that I would go and accuse someone of sexual harassment when I don't have it confirmed. Ridiculous. And like I said, I worked on a retraction all day yesterday, put it up last night on the website. And Piper, if you're listening right now, call up, man, or call us on Tuesday. Drinks are on me next time you're in Albany or New York City. Hell, I'll travel down to New York City, and we'll have drinks on me. You know what I mean? And talk about it and laugh about it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna open it up for live phone calls. All right. And here's the deal. If you're going to call up and you're going to rant and you're going to rave and you're going to fuck this, fuck you, fuck that, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to hang up on you. But if you want to address it and if you want to talk in a civil way with your thoughts on it, I have no problem doing that. And I'll try to answer any questions you guys have. It's 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. And you guys can call up right now and we'll talk about it.
This is crazy, man. This is the most serious, somber show we've ever done. I mean, my God, we're usually, cracking jokes, having fun. Fuck this, fuck let's have some fun. This is different, man. It's weird.
You know what, though? We didn't have to come on here and do a show, and I talked to you about it yesterday. I said, do we want to go on here? Do we want to do a show? And you said, yeah, I think you should go on here and try to get it.
Yeah.
I
absolutely thought there was times you were debating, I'm like, let's just, it's over, let's let it lie. And I'm like, I think we should go on and just put a final, period at the end of the sentence. Let's get it over. Let's just do it and be done with it.
A lot of times when I issued that retraction and correction last night on the website, and a lot of times text doesn't always get what I'm really feeling. You know what I mean? So I figured I'd come on here, I'd give it to you.
You can't put emotion. People can hear the emotion in your voice right now. You can't convey that with writing. I mean, unless you're damn. Even then, you can't fully capture the emotion you're trying to convey.
Right, and for you guys to hear it directly out of my own mouth is basically what I wanted to do, and not not just a retraction. So, and again, to Roddy Piper, I sincerely apologize, man. I never wanted to go that far. Never would make up a story about somebody, and I can't apologize enough for the story. So, I mean, it's been crazy, Boone, hasn't it, man? It's been
Charlie Sheen chimed in at one point. My God, what are we talking about?
Well, and a lot of other talents as well, and a lot of other reporters and people like that. You know what I mean? Have chimed in as well, and it got crazy. You know what I mean? It got crazy.
It sucked. Yeah, it really sucked for me because you're my best friend. So if it's a war going on and sides have to be taken, I'm riding with my buddy. Yeah. Even though I'm the biggest Piper fan in the world, if we're going at him, we're going at him. Thank God it got resolved though, because I did not want to do that.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. Turn those speakers down real quick, man.
They are down. This is Wendy Davies in the chat room.
Hello.
I have 3 quick points to make about what I think may have happened.
Okay.
When you read in the news, they always say suggestive comments. It almost always means sexually suggestive.
Right. I agree with that.
So I'm assuming that's where the sexting came from.
And I agree with that.
Another point I want to make is Caitlyn, she's got to, whether it's true or not, with her status at WWE, to say nothing happened.
Absolutely, and that's a great point that you make up. I mean, and we can compare that to a guy like Alex Riley. There's a story making the rounds that we put up on the website that Alex Riley's been de-pushed due to something backstage that happened with John Cena, a rib. And, what other? He's been de-pushed,
demoted,
right? Demoted, de-pushed, whatever. He's not being pushed anymore either. So, and somebody, a fan had came out and asked Alex, do you want to comment on that? And he didn't deny that it happened. He just basically said that I don't want to comment on it, and especially for new guys. You know what I mean, Wendy? New guys like somebody like Alex Riley or somebody like Caitlyn, who is not a top talent. They've got to keep their mouth shut if they want to keep their job. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that this didn't happen, but I mean, she came out and denied it. Piper said that it was completely untrue. So the truth is, we don't know. We weren't there. You know what I mean? But you're absolutely correct in that Caitlyn. I mean, she's got to deny it because she'll lose her job, no doubt about it, if she doesn't.
My last quick point is the wheelchair thing. Roddy was responding to someone who said they were a listener and that you made fun of disabled people. Which has happened twice accidentally. One time, caller was made fun of for how he talked, and it turned out to be because he was in a car accident and had to relearn to walk. And then we know the Jackie deal. But I wouldn't say anything was ever done purposely, and things were twisted into a wheelchair thing.
Now the wheelchair incident, I remember the guy that called up, but I don't think we ever made jokes about him being.
No, it was me. I'll do an impression of a guy's voice, whether it's a southern accent, whether it's a foreign accent. I'll do that without any knowledge of why they sound how they sound. It's an entertainment show. We try and be funny and entertaining. And as soon as we found out that was why the we couldn't have been more. We were like, oh fuck, I am so sorry. I had, you know what I mean?
But I don't think there was ever.
The guy
no, I don't think there was ever a situation where we said, ha ha ha, this guy's in a wheelchair. It was nothing.
Never.
I mean, never would we ever do anything about that. And the fact is, we didn't know at that point when he called up. We had no idea. And then I think he sent an email. Did he not send an email, or did he call back the following week?
You don't have to even include yourself in the we. It was me. You didn't do anything. It was me. You're not like that. I'm the one who will rag on the callers without knowing, anything about anything. I'm trying to be funny. I'm paid to be on here and be entertaining. That's pretty much what I'm paid to do, so I try and do that. Sometimes I go too far, and sometimes I don't go far enough. You got to pick your shot. Pick your shot. Piper knows that better than anybody. That man has taken some pretty crazy shots in some pretty crazy directions. Conqueror of the Guerrero was playing like cucaracha. What are we talking? He understands. And we never did anything like that knowingly. We would be goofing off, find out after the fact that this guy has a speech impediment, and we were like, oh fuck, man, I am so I didn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like we fucked up. It happened.
Right, and like Boone said it, we're trying to be entertaining. We had no idea that when the guy called up that had happened to him, that he was involved in a car accident, or what the reason for it was. And then, like Wendy says in the chat room, we called back. Guys, if you want to call up, we're going to be here for a couple more minutes. I wanted to come on here. I know it's Friday. You guys are probably headed out, going to party, going to do what you guys do. It's Friday night. It's the kickoff to the weekend. The Olympics are starting tonight from England. So we're going to have the opening ceremonies. Actually, I think the opening ceremonies are probably in progress right now, and I think they're going to air on a tape delay later tonight. And then we've got the next 2 weeks with the Summer Olympics, man. Crazy. You
got to get mixed martial arts in the Olympics, man. That's what I want to see happen.
MMA in the Olympics. Well, they're trying to do that, aren't they?
Yeah, they're trying. It'll never happen. I mean, they got amateur wrestling, they got judo, and I pretty much think that's the only real MMA type stuff that's involved in the Olympics. And boxing, obviously.
Right. And the boxing is they've got the headgear and everything else that's involved.
It's a point. Yeah, it's a point system of boxing. So it's a very shitty version, but it's not like it used to be. But yeah, Piper used to be an amateur boxer. He knows about that.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Going back to Piper, I want him to come on this radio show. He's always been entertaining, and you know what? I mean, maybe the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the interview that we would do with Piper, we'd address this, and I'd apologize to him, man to man. You know what I mean? I'd have him on here and say, listen, Roddy, I fucked up, man, and I pulled the story as soon as I knew that it was wrong. I pulled the story off the website, guys, and then issued a retraction yesterday, and I feel like that's the best I can do, man. I came on here, and I'm trying to make things right, and Piper had accepted my apology last night, and actually issued a tweet earlier today that said, I hope you're having a good day, Ryan, blah blah blah. And I can't thank him enough for that, because some people are going to hold a grudge, and some people aren't, and it seems like Piper knows that it was a simple mistake. I messed up, and he's forgiven me, and I can't thank him enough for that. So hopefully, he'll be able to come on here. I'll go on his podcast, and we'll clear it up for you guys there too. But I felt the need to come on here and do this, and Boone said, we should do it as well. And before we end, Roddy, my apologies again, bro, and I fucked up. One last thing, dude. One last thing, man. One last thing. Velvet Sky released from TNA, dude. This is kind of a big deal,
what's going on here? I haven't heard about this shit. You gotta tell me what this is.
Well, like I said, dude, there's a lot of things going on with contracts in TNA, and a bunch of contracts are expiring. Devon and Bully Ray. God, I hope they re-sign Bully Ray, man. I mean, the dude's he's lost a ton of weight over the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Especially this past year, lost a lot of weight.
Who cuts better promos in TNA than Bully Ray right
now? Nobody.
Nobody. They got some great. Yeah, nobody. They got some great promo guys, and who has a better hardcore match? And they got some great hardcore match guys. The guy is. Everybody thought he was going to be a tag team guy forever. If they give him the ball, he's a single star waiting to happen, I think.
He is, man. He definitely is. Not only that, but the beautiful people in TNA, Angelina Love, parted ways with the company a couple weeks ago, and now Velvet Sky. I mean, hopefully WWE would pick up. I mean, especially Velvet Sky. Great. Both of them are great. I mean, let's be honest. Diva matches, you know what I mean? It's kind of piss break when you're watching Raw or when you're watching SmackDown. Yeah. It's a piss break.
Time to go grab a beer if you're at the arena.
Yeah, it's a piss break. Time to go get beer, food, whatever. You know what I mean? And Angelina Love and Velvet Sky are good in-ring workers. You know what I mean? And both of them can cut a great promo, and it's not often you see that with divas. And they're hot.
Velvet Sky might be the hottest piece of ass in wrestling. I just had to throw that in. That's my thoughts on that. So,
you think so, bro? Velvet Sky, hottest piece of ass
I think Velvet Sky, I said one of. Now, I'm a big fan of AJ.
All right.
And Kelly, obviously, you got to throw Barbie in there. But Velvet Sky's right up there on my list, man. I think she's sexy.
Well, she's hot. Don't get me wrong. She's definitely one of the hotter ones in the business, dude. But I don't know, Jonesy. When did you send the money for your T-shirt, bro? I didn't. There was nothing in the mailbox today, so not yet. I got who's this right here? There's a whole fucking pile of them, dude. I don't have them. There's one from Saval. He's in the chat room every week, but no, I didn't get your T-shirt. 180D Delaware Ave, Troy, New York. 12180 if you guys want to send them in, but send them in. I mean, if you sent it a couple days ago, it should be here by now, but no, not yet. So I don't know.
You're gonna lose our bet, by the way. There's no way you're winning that bet. You better be ready to pay up, buddy.
I've only got 12 of them so far.
Not even close. No, I could have sworn we put like a month or two time cap. I guess we'll get it to the end of the year, but you're not selling that. You better just write my check now. Shit.
No comment. No.
Shut up.
No comment, dude. No comment. We'll see what happens. You're only down in Greenbush. TD Maverick in the chat room. Jesus, bro. That's about 5. I used to live in East Greenbush. I used to live right off. Yeah, me and Boone used to live in East Greenbush on Columbia Turnpike, Route 4. I'm right off Route 4. I'm right near Hudson Valley, bro. Right over here in South Troy.
That was B16, right?
I'm when you go past Hudson Valley, right? You go down and there's Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. You go down the hill there, and there's Stort's on the right, and you take that right and you go up in Campbell Ave's right there. I'm right off Campbell Ave, right there. No doubt. That's crazy, man. Troy City Valley Cats? No doubt, brother.
Man, you got deference, and you're over here giving, like, not only your address, but directions to get to your house and shit. You must not be scared at all, huh?
Well, I'm moving here in another month or so. I'm moving across the river moving across the river over to Waterville, man. So, what are you going to do?
We're going to kill you, Ryan. We're going to kill you. All right, well, I live at this address. You go down the hill. There's the Stewart's right there. You take a turn.
What's he say? TD Maverick says, straight shot from me. I'm over at the corner of 43. Route 43, that takes you into Averill Park. I used to live in Averill Park. That's where I grew up. So you're by the Storts or the, what's the rental place over there, right? There's where the old Time Warner place used to be, right? Right across from Storts there. I know where you are, man. No doubt. You know what?
Park, man,
you know what?
Crazy.
As soon as we get off the air here, I'm taking Route 4 down to Route 43, and I'm going to Walmart right up there in the plaza. Reggie's got no dog food, so I'm gonna be.
If you want to kill this guy, he's telling you not only where he lives, but where he'll be.
I'm gonna be
grocery shopping. He'll be at the Walmart over at Route 40, whatever.
I'm gonna be passing your house here in about.
You're nuts, man.
I'm gonna be passing your house here in about a half an hour to an hour. So. There you go. Look for a black Hyundai Tiburon.
Jesus, dude. Give him a description.
There you go. All right, listen, guys. We're gonna get out of here. Have a great weekend, and thanks for coming. You know what I mean? We put this out on the website. It was basically just for Roddy Piper. I wanted you guys to hear it directly, straight from my mouth. And like I said, man, it's all said and done. Quit the Twitter wars stuff, quit the tweeting. I understand some of you guys aren't going to forgive me, and that's cool, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, you know what I'm saying? But I did my best, and retraction up on the website, WZROnline.com. Thanks to all you guys for coming. Thanks to Boone for helping me out over the past couple of days. I was pretty nervous there for a little bit, and Boone called me up on the cell phone, told me to chill out. Everything's going to work itself out, and sure enough, it did, dude. So big thanks to you, man. And we're out of here, man. That's it, right?
That'll do it. That'll do it.
All right, we'll see you guys Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com. Roddy Piper, going to be contacting you here in the near future. Going to be trying to tweet you. Look out. We'll have you hopefully live on next Tuesday night's edition of WZR
man. Come on,
Radio.
get on the show with us, buddy. Let's have some fun. Let's stir
Right,
it up, baby.
let's stir it up. Let's have some fun, dude. Let's put it all in the past and let the fans know that everything is good to go between me, you, everybody else, man. And, you know what I'm saying? Hunky-dory, man. So that'll do it. Thanks for letting me do this. And thanks for coming, listening. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com for Matt Boone.
That's me.
This is Ryan Clark.
Hey, that's him.
Saying see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com. Have a great weekend, guys.